Former personality, TV personality Louis Otieno now lives a silent and a lonely world. Louis has completely lost his hearing and has to depend on lip reading and written notes to communicate. Our medical correspondent, Dr Mercy Korir, has an exclusive interview with a man who once read news and brought powerful interviews to your living room.
I literally live in a cave. I have no idea what's going on in the world.
We meet Louis at his home in Nairobi. His daughter Tunu accompanies him to the set, just briefly offering support to his unstable gait. This is now Louis Armstrong Otieno's life. He has lost all his hearing.
I don't know my voice level, so you'll have to find it, because one of the things I'm struggling to do is hear myself also. So I don't want to end up shouting.
I hand Louis the set of questions. He reads the first one.
How did I get here? You know what starts out like a tummy ache, and you think maybe you've got food poisoning, or you think of something you've suffered before. I did not think beyond that.
That was the beginning of a 2-month stay in hospital, from the intensive care unit to the high dependency unit with acute pancreatitis, which Louis was lucky to walk out of alive.
I was all wired up and all taped up, and it was tubes, and I was in a laboratory, for all I know.
In this note, I asked Louis whether the doctors found out what caused his pancreas to flare up.
That's the first time I had a doctor saying, he's got to stop drinking. You know, this is just alcohol. Now, these are doctors around my bed, and they're having this conversation. And I'm thinking, who is going to explain this? Well, I don't have a drink problem. They never actually told me this particular thing crushed the pancreas.
He made it out, only to be back in about 8 months.
I immediately went into a very bad depression. I just sank. My spirit sank, everything sank. One morning, I wake up, and I can't hear the nurse. I was in shock. How do you wake up one morning and it's gone?
Louis' world fell silent, and nobody knew why.
I lost the world. In one single day, I lost the world. End up with a hearing aid. But what it did, it opened up noise. I could pick up all the noise around me, but I could not discern speech.
That was not the only problem.
All of a sudden, I cannot walk a straight line. Very basic thing, like standing in the shower, became a risk. You've got to put a stool in there. Why am I falling down in the house? I have a scar.
3 pairs of hearing aids later.
I try to read their lips when they're talking. My daughter comes from school. I can't hear my daughter. Every day. It's painful.
People that were his friends vanished.
Nobody's going to touch you. Nobody's going to be with you. Nobody visits. Nobody calls. Nobody tries to check up on you. President Uhuru Kenyatta has made a promise.
Louis Otieno, who was at one time one of the most sought-after TV personalities in the country, worked at KTN, KBC, K24 and Citizen TV stations. He was a celebrated interviewer and ran memorable shows such as Newsline, Louis Otieno Live and This is Louis. He says his doctors have told him he needs electronic implants inserted in his cochlea, the inner part of the ear responsible for detecting sounds.
One of the things I hope for if I get my implants is get my body balance back. And if I get that, I can get out. If I get out, I can go back and help and work and become productive again.
Dr Mercy Korir, KTN News.
And a very